Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4 as Imperialist Japan, where we could invite Italy into the faction. However, I don't want to. But what I think I will do is take one of our spy ladies and send her over to Paris to try and maybe convince them to come here. Diplomatic pressure is... So it gives me diplomatic pressure and the trade control, I don't care. Root out resistance. Propaganda, that makes them more fascist. Yeah. Boost idea. Oh, no. That makes them more likely to want to fight. Or less likely to fight and less likely... You know, yeah, negative propaganda, not positive. And that's to change their support, because France has gone down the fascist route. Italy is just Italy, is fascist, but I don't see them doing well in this war. If they could get France on their side, maybe, but if I was, for instance, going to be swapping... Like, normally the partnership is Britain and France, Germany and Italy. At least in this game, as it's set up, I would consider France and Italy to be the weaker two in them two's, you know, partnerships. So swapping out for Britain and Germany, then France and Italy doesn't seem like a good idea. So let's put some diplomatic pressure on France and see if we can't invite them to faction. We're only 10 scores away. Base reluctance is 20. They're a major nation, and neither of us are at war. But 10 points, I think, is something that she can make up. 0.1 per day. Oh, no, so, like, every 2 or 3 days. So, in a month, I think we'll be able to get these guys to come to the faction. Let's see. Oil-wise... ship-wise, sorry. I still have these exercising, but if we're off to war soon, I really need to tell them to stop. Yeah, I just sort of want you to fully just halt. And go back to port. Because I'm going to need the oil. I'd like to design the new ships, but... that's not the priority if I'm going for a land war in Russia, where I don't have the distraction anymore, and in fact Portugal is obviously now on the other side. Did they get Brazil with that as well? I can't remember. No. Nationalist Portugal never beat Spain, so they never got to head down to take on Brazil as well. But Portugal does have... Macau down here, so I guess now we'll be able to take that. Although I'm sort of giving up the idea of taking Indochina. We got Siam in the faction, didn't we? So you could still call it the Greater East Asia Co-Prosperity Sphere, as long as you include France as being part of East Asia. I really wish that Canada wasn't white. I would love a feature in this game where you can change the colour of nations, like, during the game. I know I could mod it, but, like, it'd be nice if I could go to Canada here, have, like, a little button and say, look, can you be this colour on the map? Because it's a bit weird. You know, and I understand that I think the swap was done, so Canada goes white when they go independent, because they're likely going to be fighting the British, and it means that, yeah, they've got a nice colour mismatch. But because they lead the faction and I lead this faction, it ends up with 2 whites. Okay, you guys, how are you doing on supplies? At least before you start fighting, you're fine, but I don't really trust... Second of May. So I can hold off for a bit, but honestly... I'm not sure we're ready to go. Construction. Finishing off that last factory, and then... Alright, can you take me to the provinces so I can see where you're building? Infrastructure map mode. I'm trying to build that tunnel out, basically. Sends a ping to the allies. Gingzi. Gangzi. Langzhai. Shuishuan. But if Nagago needs to be done... It doesn't even appear to be in the list. You're currently at 4, you're currently at 2, so this needs to be higher. Oh, that's being worked on, that's fine then. The weak link in the chain then would be... Right, 5, 4, 3. Hubei. Are we working on Hubei? Hubei's not even in the list. So it looks like I was going down this route here to get to it, and I don't think that was the correct idea. So I want some infrastructure in Hubei. Construction, infrastructure. To at least take that to 4, preferably 5. And then 1 here. I think that's going to take less to build up. But Hubei needs to be higher up because it's early on in the chain. So the thicker... Like, from this port to the chain needs to be as thick as possible. So Hubei is going to be down here. I almost want you on, like, top priority, but not surpassing any of them that have been started. Yingzi and Lingzhou, you're up here. That's taking them to 5. Do need one there before we start building in our vassals. Let's bring you down. Xuan is here. If we're building in Hubei, it looks like we don't need this one, so we can take that out. 5 to 5 to 5 to 5. 2 to 5. So this is the current lowest point, but we are building in that one. Yeah, that's already set to build. But plus 4 more. I think we only want like 3 more to take you to 5. I mean, it is going to be a bottleneck. It'd be nice for that to be even stronger, but just to start with. If I go on the supply map mode as well. Is there a way of see? Oh, that's infrastructure. I want supply. More options. F4. The bottleneck here is the infrastructure in X. So there's no bottleneck there, there is here. So I guess this one is actually the priority. Are you telling me that they're passing straight over this? Or maybe they're going through my allies' territory as well. This is currently the bottleneck. So, back to production. No. Construction. And it's nowhere near in the list at all, actually. Infrastructure map mode. It's already up to level 5, but it is the bottleneck. which case... let's see if we can't get that up again as a bit of a priority. Unfortunately, I don't feel like we're ready for the war, which we have in a month's time. Let these finish. Let's see, recruitment and deployment. We don't really want many more. I don't know whether I meant to have this on unlimited. How many do we need to fill up? 1 here, 5 here, and that's it. So 6. 1, 2, 3. It'll tell me how many divisions are in the queue. 8. Well, I already have some unassigned divisions, okay. Really? Is it 47 unassigned divisions?
Okay.
Right. I have no idea. I guess I was, you know, trying to focus on figuring out the Navy. You were supposed to be the best of the best, but I'm having to put in whatever I can. So 24, 24, 24, 42. Split you in half, create a new division. Well, that works out quite well at 6 more to finish these off, and they'll be defensive armies, but they'll need commanders assigning. We want to be under this field marshal. There we go. You had a order somewhere over here, and I just realised that the timer's gone. So can I get you to share this border? Edit front line. Right click to assign selected divisions. So if I get you. Come on, bring up a tooltip for me. Control click to assign selected armies to this order. So control click. I want to assign you as well. I think that's done it. And you have your own separate plan. How are we looking on production? We have 1.4k armoured cars, which I think is almost a full unit's worth on the... We still have some unassigned divisions? Oh, it's the ones from the other guys. Do I have any of them in any of these armies? It doesn't look like it. So the unassigned divisions now is one of you. You can be... They're going to send me them anyway, and I don't think I can tell them not to. So you can have your own little army. And where do you want to go? You can defend here. Just because I want you out of the way. It'd be nice to use their troops in the war, but I just can't trust that they're going to be any good. In the next episode, you never know, we might even unpause, but I need to ensure that the attack here is going to go well, because beforehand I was rushing to try and get the war started so that we still had the Portuguese and the Russians on side, but if I'm going to have the full force of the Russians, I need to be better prepared. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, that's all the time that we have for today. As always, I'd like to thank you for watching. Unfortunately, though, I am going to have to say goodbye. Goodbye.